Welcome back to Hawk Talk Previews. I'm your host, Sedric Granger, and we are excited for what's ahead. January has now become February here in Princess Anne, and that means it's time for the UMES softball team to return to the diamond. So with the season coming up, it's a great time to hear from UMES softball coach Aaron Robinson and preseason All-MEAC outfielder Jaycee Holt. Welcome to the show. How are you both doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing very well, very well. Excited to talk a little bit about Hawks softball coming up this year. The season getting ready to start here in this month of February, so it's absolutely exciting, and I think it's a perfect time to take some opportunity here to go and talk a little bit about the season. So I'll start with two questions for you, Coach Robinson. Let's start with the team culture. You have a lot of newcomers coming in, mixed in with some returning players. So how would you describe the culture of the team going into this season?
Well, our culture this year and then moving forward is going to be based on accountability and ownership. I really want our student athletes to understand they have a great opportunity to seize the moment, to go get what they want, work as hard as they can to see the results on the field. We definitely want to continue to push that. Communication is one of our biggest staples, communication, owning what you're doing, and making sure that they're making the most of the experience.
Yeah, making the most of the experience is huge, of course, for all of our UMES student athletes. They want to be able to make the most of the 4 years or even 5 years that they get to have with the program under your tutelage, Coach. Speaking of program and new coaches that are being able to come out here, and we have Coach Savannah Smith as well as Janelle Higgins that have been added to the staff. Could you talk a little bit about how you found them and what their impact has been?
Definitely. Great additions, hardworking coaches definitely are very invested in making sure we get exactly what we want. We work hard, we push each other, we sharpen each other and sharpen our student athletes. And I actually was extremely lucky with finding both of them. Coach Higgins is coming from 20 years as being a community college coach, very passionate, and her and I specialize in a lot of the same things, so definitely a lot of sharpening there. Coach Savannah was an all-conference pitcher at her university in Arizona and has over 512 innings, 400 strikeouts, and definitely is making sure she leaves her mark on the program and pushes our pitchers into the next level.
See, that's sensational to have two great additions to the coaching staff going into this year, and it makes an impact on the players. And speaking of the players, we have Jaycee Holt with us, who led the entire Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference in stolen bases last season. So talk to me a little bit, Jaycee, about what that achievement meant to you.
It definitely meant a lot to me. Growing up in the South, there's a lot of amazing competition, so you have to find something that makes you stand out, and for me, that was my speed. I had a coach tell me that you can't coach speed, so just let me run. He never really told me what to do, so I just ran as I wanted, and I quickly gained a lot of base knowledge and learned a lot from that, and that's what got me here today.
Yeah, and how are you going to build on that going into your junior year this season and being able to try to keep that pace?
Well, me and Coach Robinson have a goal, so hopefully we'll meet that goal of stolen bases this year and grow on that. So.
And then you talked about growing up down south, Jaycee, and one of the cool things about the schedule this year is that the schedule starts down south, as there's going to be competition in South Carolina, Mississippi, and Georgia. And you were even talking to me about how your parents are going to be able to go and be there at the game, which is exciting. But that really brings about some really good competition, of course, with the other HBCU schools, also Southern Miss as well. So what does it mean to you to be able to have these challenging opponents and challenging competition on the schedule?
So last season we quickly learned that the South has a lot of great competition when playing North Alabama and in Georgia again. So we definitely just need to find their weaknesses and hit that, because we're going to have to work hard to win.
Yep, the Hawks are going to look to sustain some winning in the South, and especially early on this year. And we're starting this season off with the HBCU Classic. So there's going to be matchups against teams like Florida A&M, Alabama A&M, so some great HBCU competition. So Coach Robinson, what does it mean as an HBCU program to get to play in a classic like this against other great softball programs?
Yeah, definitely a connective experience, definitely an opportunity for our student athletes to get the year started off right, bonding with other student athletes that go to HBCUs, learning that culture, learning that experience and the energy that is connected in that environment. And then it's a great opportunity to play the SWAC teams, to get an experience on how they play and bring it into the MEAC and make sure we can keep those competition, that energy going.
Yeah, there's some good energy on the team as well. And one thing that's really exciting is that there are new players, there are also some returning players, and there are tons of players that are going to make an impact this year for UMES softball. We, of course, know Jaycee is going to be one of those players. But, Coach, who are some of the other names that have really made an impact and you're expecting to have a big season here in 2025?
With our returners, Nola Mountain, Mackenzie Aberle, Paige Perkins, they're going to bring a lot of leadership. Definitely looking for them to step into leadership roles to guide new student athletes here. We have some standout transfers in our outfield. Skylar Landis, then Ojeda, infield-wise, to kind of supplement Araceli Manzo at first base, Clark Calvin at second, Lola Meyer. But we're just, just going to keep the ground running and push. And I really want to shine a light on all of our student athletes that are in our program to make sure they get opportunities to show who they are.
Yeah, one takeaway I had from what you said, Coach Robinson, was the leadership aspect. And now for you, Jaycee, you get to be a leader. You're now not a sophomore, not a freshman, not an underclassman anymore. You're now a junior. So how have you seen your role as a leader change going into this season?
Definitely with the newcomers, a lot of them are freshmen, so they need a lot of help adjusting to college, to all the traveling, missing classes. So they know that I'm always there for them to talk about life academically or athletically. They're all great people, and they all bring something different to the team. So it's just amazing to have a program that comes together and works together to become friends and on and off the field.
Yeah, Jaycee, I'm excited to see that synergy continue to grow on the team as the season goes on. And then to end this interview, once again, appreciate both of you guys for taking the time to come in and talk a little bit about UMES softball. But what is one final message that the both of you have for the fans and for all the people following UMES softball about this team coming up in 2025?
All right. I just want us, all fans, to know, and supporters, that we're going to try to put the best brand of softball that we can and keep building, not just as the HBCU program, but definitely open everybody's eyes to, UMES as a whole softball program, and that we're going to play all different types of softball and challenge them every time we play.
I think there's going to be a lot of winning this year, hopefully. Yeah, I'm excited to see us come together and play as one and hopefully come out and show other people what they don't think we can do.
Awesome. So getting to prove some people wrong. So here you go. You got Jaycee Holt, MEAC preseason outfielder, and, of course, Coach Aaron Robinson with UMES softball. Make sure to follow them, of course, on social media, UMES Hawk Softball. Thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate your time.
Truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.